Welcome into the program, everybody. This is Alabama Unfiltered Radio. I'm Scott Beason. It is a Friday, the 21st day of August in the year of our Lord 2026. I hope you've had a great morning, and I hope the last 21 hours since we visited have gone well as well. I'm here, Big Sky Mountain Mosley, also here, making sure we can broadcast to as many people, not only in Alabama, but across the globe, the world, the earth, the face of the earth, the four corners of the earth, those who are smart enough to listen. Big Sky, how are you?
Fantastic. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday to you.
Yeah.
We made it through, what was it yesterday? Radio Appreciation Day?
National Radio Day.
National Radio Day.
Did I mention you were supposed to celebrate, hug your favorite radio personality?
I was going with bring them a pie.
I like that better.
Bring them a pie, some ribs maybe, some barbecue ribs, some pecan pie, just whatever you happen to be doing
What'd you get
today.
What'd you get for National Radio Day? Did you get anything good?
Nothing.
I got to work.
Yeah, I got absolutely nothing.
Nothing at all.
But it was because people didn't know it was a real day.
Right. It's a real thing.
It is a big thing. It's a holiday that people should be considering. Speaking of barbecue ribs, Sky.
Yes, of course.
There is a story that Trump, let's see if he announced it today, 21st. Yes, apparently today, Donald J. Trump, the president of these United States, put this out on his, what does he call his social media platform? I don't think it's even still, it's not really. It's not like the top one. It's not Twitter. That's Musk's thing, is it? Truth. Truth Social. Yeah. Today, I concluded a deal to substantially lower the price of ground beef for working American families.
Yay.
As everyone knows, under President Biden, beef prices soared at their fastest rate, and the American beef herd fell to its smallest size in modern history. As we work to rebuild this herd and help our ranchers for the next 90 days, the United States will allow up to 300,000 metric tons of product for ground beef to be imported with no out-of-quota tariff. We have a commitment that this beef will be sold at 25% below current market prices. This deal will reduce prices for Americans while giving space for our great American beef herd to grow again. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump. Here comes the sneeze. Oh, man.
Nice.
So I'm looking at the story. It's at Not the Bee, okay?
This is for real, though.
This is for real.
Okay.
The person with the pseudonym Commodore Vanderbilt wrote this, but you can find it at Not the Bee. It's funny that his pseudonym is Commodore Vanderbilt. So in huge black font, black, very bold, aren't socialists the ones who manipulate prices like this?
Oh, come on. Here they come.
Well, now we're back to what we talk about a lot on this program, Sky, which is the guys on our side who've had their training from, think tanks, and I always make fun of them. I don't mean to accuse them, but anybody who's familiar understands, I think, what I'm saying, if they'll think about it a second. The Cato Institute conservatives,
okay,
who, when something like this occurs, they're like, "What? That's socialist. Yeah, that's price fixing. You can't do so and so." The problem we have is that we have been so crony capitalist for so long. Because I promise you that the people who read this and say, aren't socialists the ones who manipulate prices like this? How many articles do you think they write about when we passed the Farm Bill? How many articles do you think they have written denouncing the real reason why we have all the ethanol garbage in our gasoline? Because it's so locked into the state of Iowa now, where everyone's first presidential primary occurs. Nobody wants to tick off all the rich ethanol guys in Iowa. That's why. So my thing is, we have manipulated the markets so many times through so many policies that it is going to take some hands-on affecting of that market to try to get the markets anywhere back. Now, look, I don't know if President Trump's trying to get the market back to a genuine competitive market or not, but that is what occurs when these different kinds of things happen. And we ended up with the situation where, and I believe, personally, since we have allowed meat production to become centralized, and I know there are efforts among different groups to try to centralize beef like they have chicken and like they have pork. You also look at the federal government's policy about, we're going to keep you safe. Therefore, all these meat processors needed to have the USDA inspector on hand at all times because that person is, I'm talking about sharp as a tack, right? We're talking about the federal government. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Oh, well, he needs to be on premises. Well, you think he's actually keeping everything clean? Do you think she actually knows how the process works? Oh, of course she does. Scott, he's a bureaucrat. So instead of making it freer and easier, we ended up allowing more centralized production. Yeah, I don't know if I've ever told y'all. I was told by someone who I think who understands beef. Now, this was years ago. May not be the case anymore. That Alabama beef, genuine pasture-raised, grass-fed, because they are on the pasture, not because you brought in a big old dump truck full of grass you cut over here somewhere and threw it in the bin where all the 5,000 cows are standing. That's not really grass. That's what we think when we hear grass-fed, but not necessarily the case. But I was told that what happens is real high-quality Southern beef gets shipped to the Midwest. They still do put them in the big, the big feedlots, some of them. But our best beef ends up in Yankee states like New York City, those kinds of places. And then we get the mass-produced beef sent back down, the cattle that did stand out in the feedlot in, 6 to 12 inches of muck with hundreds of the cows all together. And if one cow's sick, well, we better make sure we vaccinate all the cows because everybody's getting sick and it's kind of nasty. And that's what we get back.
Figures.
So now look, I don't know that is true, but I was told that, and I still believe it to this day that would make perfect sense. That's the way the system has kind of worked since
supply lines, right.
Since the 1860s. That our goal is to provide the best for others to take, and then we get the whatever they didn't want sent back down to us. I believe that's probably accurate. But I've been to the grocery store enough times to know beef is incredibly high. Well, that's just the way the market is. Well, yeah, because what happened was it got squeezed and then the prices shot up. And if I'm a farmer, if I'm a rancher, whatever, I guess we call them ranches. I just always see ranches as like big hunt, lots of acreage, sky, like out west. The Ponderosa is a ranch. But I guess anybody can be a rancher with with just a few acres of land.
You need the hat.
But how do you not? Yeah, I've got a big hat. I just I don't have any cattle.
You're all hat, no.
I'm
cattle.
Big hat, no cattle. That's exactly right. But the thing is, I don't blame them for selling their cattle. The price is high as a kite. You got to sell when the price is up. So yeah, our herd is down. But how do the rocket scientists who are complaining about manipulating the prices, how do they plan on the American herd to get back up when American farmers and ranchers are looking at it like, okay, I can either sell this cow for unbelievably high prices right now because they're paying it right now, or do I keep her and let her have another calf and let her have it? And look, they're all managing their herds. I get it, but they're out on the edge selling while they can sell. So the other choice in my mind is, and I have not thought about this completely, but I bet I've thought about it more than Commodore Vanderbilt here has, is the government come along and saying, "Hey, you have this herd, you can't sell any of it. You got to raise as many young calves as you possibly can. We've got to get the herd back up, or we're going to be squeezed for beef and beef prices from now on." Oh, well, you don't do that, Scott. You incentivize it. Oh, so incentivizing people to do things is not manipulating prices, and that's not socialist, but bringing in foreign beef, foreign ground beef is socialist. You know what I'm saying, Sky?
Yeah.
Once you've messed up, once
we've interfering,
we've messed up the system, which we did a long time ago, we can't complain about manipulating the system now. Stephen Gill says temporary tariff-free imports to ease prices while the U.S. herd rebuilds is a practical short-term fix. Families need relief now.
Makes sense.
And finally,
you have to address the issue.
Commodore Vanderbilt gets back and finally says, since the government decided to make us all poor by printing $6 trillion during COVID, ranchers and farmers have faced numerous problems. Shutdowns caused lags in the chain. Land doubled or tripled in price. Inflation caused the price of supplies to skyrocket. Import of cheap foreign beef made it harder to compete. And the cost of slaughter cows and feeder calves at market has doubled or tripled.
Thank you, Commodore.
Yeah, he got around to it.
You sure did.
Makes it sound like I knew what I was talking about.
Almost.
We'll be back.
Thank you for being there, Scott. Every time I get a chance to listen to you, I just think how grateful I am and how much we need you on a national level so more people can hear you.
Scott Beason, president of ARP, Alabama Recovering Politicians.
You can learn things, and I appreciate that.
I appreciate that, Fred. Thank you.
But that's true, and I mean that. I'm not being sarcastic. I am serious.
have to stop kowtowing to every little thing that they have said is bad and evil, and they don't get to decide what is right and wrong. I'll bank my money on what God, the creator of the universe, says is right and wrong. It's worked very well for Western society for 2 millennia, and we've got to get with it. Got to fight the fight. We got to get after it. It's ridiculous. I'm just tired of great Americans being ripped to shreds, history going away, and all of us cowering around because we're afraid somebody's going to call us a bad name. It is time to save the republic.
You're listening to Alabama Unfiltered Radio with Scott Beason.
Welcome back into the program, everybody. So we had a call to straighten out the idea on feeding the freshly cut grass to the cattle, and so the point was, and look, I'm not an expert on that part. The point was that I believe, with what little I know, that there are beef producers, cattle producers, that kind of a little bit monkey around with so they can put certain things on their packaging. How's that?
That sounds.
I don't know how
pretty
often
accurate.
they do it, but that, like the definition of grass. Let's see if I can find that AI thing. See, says.
The organic label is a great example. Sometimes that's a little fuzzy.
Like grass-fed cattle, to be grass-fed, you have to let the cows, here it is, USDA grass-fed requires that animals have continuous access to pasture during the grazing season, meaning permanent confinement in a barn with outdoor access violates the definition. So what you find out is that they're feeding them in the barn like a feedlot, and the pasture is basically a dead, trampled down open space, but you meet the guidelines of the requirement that said, hey, they must be able to, quote unquote, be grass-fed.
Be able to, being the...
Yeah, be able to go out there. There's a door down there on the other end, but we feed them in the barn, and they pretty much stay in the barn, and they're not really out there eating it out there. So what are you feeding them? Confinement or dry lot systems focus on grass feeding, rely on forage sources like grass hay, alfalfa, or stockpiled pasture, avoiding high concentration corns like grain. So my point being, and yeah, I guess you can't feed them straight fresh cut grass, but they eat straight fresh cut grass in the pasture while they're out there.
That's what I thought.
So I don't know. Maybe it's something like that. But the point was, are they getting around it, and we don't really know what they're selling us, and the argument is they're selling the better beef that we raise somewhere in another part of the country where everybody's like, oh my gosh, the steak I had in New York City was awesome. Where do you think they grew that in New York?
Well, first of all, we have no slaughterhouses in the area. They're all gone.
Yes.
Been gone.
Right. Which is a huge mistake.
Which tells you right away that our cattle is being
shipped somewhere else.
Local, some very small independent.
They're starting. They're restarting.
But I understand that there's up to a year waiting list.
Yeah, which means there's a huge demand.
Exactly. So
Now,
that's hopeful.
Now, again, we on this show, and look, this is for people in other states too, okay? If y'all are listening in other places, y'all need to do it as well. We're not doing it in Alabama. We should, but we're not. We need to start looking at ourselves, our state, as our market. What can we grow? What can we raise? Whether it's vegetables, whether it's fruit, whether it's chickens, whether it's, what can we do right here in our own state, regardless of what some of these federal guidelines are? What can we do to make it so that the local farmer, the local rancher can grow whatever it is they grow, raise whatever it is they raise, and get a little more from us than they do from the centralized food system? And us, Alabamians, pay less than we do at the store. That's what we should be trying to do.
Incentivize that.
Yes,
State
exactly.
government. That's how you do it, right there. Keep it down. And I'm telling you, these huge supply lines that are controlled centrally,
Yes.
it is a recipe for disaster.
Yes.
Food reference there.
Yes.
Because when one problem hits, well, it bottlenecks right down.
It affects everything.
Exactly. And also, if you have any kind of disease or
Yep.
E. coli or whatever, anything that gets into it,
Yep.
well, it's going to affect everybody. So there's all kind of reasons to grow local, buy local, support local.
And the problem is like so what they're saying is that you basically end up with the farmer when it comes to cattle. Now this is AI searching what it can, okay? Getting about $3 to $4 a pound what they're getting paid for the cow, okay?
Okay.
Because you got the bones, you got the fat, you got the
Sure.
skin and all that kind of stuff.
$3 or $4 a pound on the hoof, right?
Yeah, well, no, on the hoof is $1.80 to $2.40, but if you were trying to figure out how much edible meat you're getting out of it, okay?
Got you.
So
Okay.
for the meat you could eat, $3 to $4.50 a pound, and the grocery store is getting $5 to $8 a pound.
It's not a big markup.
Now they admit that some of it is $16 or more, or whatever. But if you're going to 3 to 6, it's double. So my thing is, let's have our Alabama-based markets where I can just go down here and hey, look, all this beef is here in Alabama. The rancher makes what he's making now, and I pay less than I would pay at the big store. Cut out the middleman. Remember all those commercials back in the day? Oh, we cut out the middleman. Cut out the middleman. Well, cut out the middleman. But unfortunately, what happens, and I tell this story from people that I know who buy, what do they call it, raw milk for their animals, of course. Raw milk's like $10 a gallon. Okay? And I get it. You can get it. But if you want to have a real market and you want to be like, oh my gosh, we're doing all this in Alabama, you got to get the price at least down to the grocery store price or close.
Raw milk is less processed, less handled, but
Correct.
it costs so much
But it costs more.
because there's no one producing it.
Yes.
It's also kind of a real bureaucratic hurdle to be able to sell it. Correct.
Well, you can't sell it to people. That's why everybody who gets it gets
I heard
it.
what
They
you
get
did. It's
it
for
for
animals.
Yeah. Have you seen the guy that says, what was it? I've passed 4 vape stores, 2 marijuana stores,
Yeah.
3 liquor stores, or whatever, to go secretly buy raw milk because the government cares about my health.
Now that's poetically ironic.
It makes
right there.
perfect sense.
That's pretty much what we're up against.
We are. No, there's no doubt about it. We are. Did I tell you I saw the story about how we ended up with pasteurized homogenized milk?
It was a French dude, right?
Oh no.
Pasteur.
So the story is like so many things that we're plagued with. They didn't have a problem out in Wetumpka, Alabama. They probably had multiple dairies and people delivered fresh raw milk to your doorstep, okay? Once or twice a week. There weren't giant outbreaks of disease from raw milk, except these big cities, Sky.
Yeah.
They were having dairies in the city. So cows were being kept in facilities, which they were bringing their food in. It might have been dry, okay? They're feeding them in these facilities with hundreds of cows in buildings, keeping them all close together, not outside, not fresh air. The cities are nasty with just people. Imagine with cows everywhere. And
Breeding
what
ground.
happened was
Disease.
they had disease break out.
Of course.
And the story was that the milk that was coming out of some of these facilities was disgusting. Okay?
I've read these
like had I don't want to use I'll use the scientific name, mucousy milk.
green kind of color. And they
So
were
when-
doing something to it to remove the green color.
Well, they had to get it, quote, cleaned up
Right.
because it was making people sick. So
And what
think
were
of
they
what they're
adding?
saying.
Yeah.
You can't have this because this raw milk is making you sick. So we need to homogenize and pasteurize. Well, then the folks in the country are like, what the crap are you talking about? And the folks in the city are like, wait a minute, we can't do that. We can't be the only ones. We'll be admitting we've got raw, green, snotty milk. Oh, no, we shall make everyone, all their milk needs to be homogenized and pasteurized. Because you know what? My buddy over here running the 500 cows in the one barn nasty place, he donates to my campaigns. I can't let the city people. Oh, it just makes me so angry. But when I read this article, this history that said that it had infectious, mucusy milk. Well, no wonder y'all came up with this strategy to save us from ourselves.
That's exactly one of the main problems with centralized food production and distribution.
Yes.
Right there. We all suffer.
Yeah. And then it's illegal for me to go over here and get it from Nancy or Kathy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Give me a break. Sure. Give me a break. Give me a break and let's take a break. We'll be back.
All right.
So you can learn things, and I appreciate that.
I appreciate that,
And,
Fred. Thank you.
But that's true, and I mean that. I'm not being sarcastic. I am serious.
We have to stop kowtowing to every little thing that they have said is bad and evil, and they don't get to decide what is right and wrong. I'll bank my money on what God, the creator of the universe, says is right and wrong. It's worked very well for Western society for 2 millennia, and we've got to get with it. Got to fight the fight. We got to get after it. It's ridiculous. I'm just tired of great Americans being ripped to shreds, history going away, and all of us cowering around because we're afraid somebody's going to call us a bad name. It is time to save the republic.
You're listening to Alabama Unfiltered Radio with Scott Beason.
Welcome back in. I don't know if you heard me, Scott. Yesterday was your day. Today's not your day. Happy Radio Day was yesterday.
Well, clearly not.
All right, so this I think proves part of my example, okay?
Sometimes I wonder how I could do so little and survive, you know? I just don't know, man.
We were saying that according to AI, that the effective value that the rancher was getting was $3 to $4.50 a pound in actual take-home pricing. And then it would go out to the grocery store and be 5 to 8, whatever. So makes the $3 probably at 6, and the $4 whatever is at 8, maybe a little bit more. And yes, steaks are more, etc. So then, I said, well, how much is a half a cow in Alabama? Because we bought
Processed, half a cow, processed.
If you get it
ready.
locally grown and it's done here, there are a few places that do it. And the upfront cost translates to $9 to $11 a pound.
It's getting pretty expensive.
Now think about my story about the raw milk. $10 a gallon. Hey, look, let's do it locally. Where Scott's advice is, hey, at least come down to the grocery store price. You know what I'm saying? Because you got multiple levels of people making money along the way. Cut all them out. Keep what they were going to make, but at least let me save a little. At least, don't $9 to $11 a pound. Now, I'm not opposed to it, but when you ask what that is, the average cow yields 200 to 250 pounds.
That's a lot of beef. Where are you going to put it?
So 200 pounds at $10 a pound, $2,000 for a half a cow? You see what I'm saying, Scott?
Yeah, $10.
I mean, am I not buying the
be...
half a cow to save money?
I thought that was the idea.
I think where we are, because we don't have enough local production, we are to the point where being able to do this makes you in the kind of the not super well-to-do, but pretty doggone well-to-do class.
Right.
Which doesn't help regular Joe and Jane.
Well, it's a supply and demand.
It
equation.
is. It is a supply and demand, and we've let it get out of whack for a very long time, and it will take effort. Back to Sky's point, which is the state of Alabama. This is the kind of thing they should be incentivizing.
Yes, sir.
Let me ask y'all this before I go out to Roger. If I put out on the ballot, hey, do you want to incentivize Alabama grown? And I'm not for selling at other places. You get these incentives if you're selling it at a market or a butcher shop or directly to people who live in the state of Alabama, so that we're helping ourselves and we're stabilizing our own market. You get these incentives if you do that. Or would you rather the state of Alabama take the money and give it to data center builders?
I would love to see that
I
on
would
the ballot,
love
Scott.
to see that on the ballot. It would probably be the biggest wipeout of the other side that you have ever seen.
Defend that.
Yeah, I mean, why can we not have more Sweet Creek kind of places?
Exactly.
Why do we not have one of those? Well, the grocery store. No, the grocery stores can do it. They can take part if they want. If they really want to do it, they can.
The state meddles in so much. It's regarding incentives and whatnot, and favoritism and this business over that. Why not something that's actually
let me
good
ask
for
you
us, good for the state?
Let me ask you a darker question, because I know the
you know why.
I know the perception that people have. We talked about this the other day. Y'all we brought it up. Farm to market roads. Okay.
Yes, we had that discussion.
Let me just ask y'all this opinion. We just all calm down, take a breath. Did we build farm to market roads to help the farmer, or did we help the road builders?
Now, do you want the answer you're supposed to give, or do you want the truth?
Do you want the answer that makes us feel good about ourselves?
Or do you want the truth?
Or do you want the truth?
Yeah.
I'm just asking. Look, I don't know the answer. I'm not even saying I'm guessing at the answer. I'm just looking at how we do stuff. Because y'all remember back, your granddad's like, hey, Joe over there, his road got paved, but mine didn't. Well, how many farms y'all got on your road? More than Joe does. Yeah, but Joe's road was straight.
That's odd.
Let's go to Roger. Maybe Roger knows. We got a couple minutes. Roger, welcome to the program.
You know, those big landowners contribute much bucks
to politicians. Don't paint them as poor, farm to market, can't see that.
Well, but Roger, there, the guy that has, 10 acres, he could have a few cows, and he would love to be able to sell some cows for what these beef prices are. That sounds
And
like a
that's
deal.
what I do.
Yeah.
I grow 2 or 3. Look, it's hanging weight. You're looking at 1,200-pound steer will yield about 900 pounds of hanging weight.
Yep.
You're paying $5 a pound for the hanging weight.
And how much is the process weight, package weight?
They charge you $1 a pound. So I'm gonna have $6 a pound. I just took a Wagyu. Well, it's an Angus Wagyu. I'm trying a different variety right now.
Yeah.
So I got about 5 in it. Grass feed it for about 4 months, and then shut it up and grain feed it. And I grain feed it corn, cotton meal. It's fat. It's got 3 inches of fat on it.
That's how you made it into the Wagyu. I got you.
So when I pick it up, I'll have about 6 a pound in it.
Hey, let me ask you a question though, Roger. Hold on. We gotta get through this. I'm gonna keep you on. Why is your processing fee? Now look, I know that's what you have to pay. I'm reading it right here: 90 cents to $1.25 a pound for cutting and vacuum sealing. At some of these places, but why do you think it's $1.25 a pound? I would argue because you don't have anybody else to go to.
It's worth $1. If you ever watched them break a cow down, somebody that really knows what they're doing.
Well, I've watched them do deer. And they're not charging me $1.25 a pound for that.
Oh, good damn! You're getting raped if you're having a deer process. That's around these neck of the woods anyway.
Oh, hey, let me hold you over, Roger. I got to hold you over, but we'll be right back. Welcome back in, everybody. So let's get back out to Roger. Roger, you were telling me your cost in the cattle that you were raising, and then you take it to somebody and they process it, and you pay them, and then how do you sell it to me if I wanted to buy Roger's Wagyu beef?
I could just as easily sell you a pound of cocaine as I could a pound of beef. You can't. It's got to be killed at a USDA authorized, and there has to be a USDA man standing there with his blue ink stamp to grade it to prime, choice, standard, or no roll. No roll being this piece of junk.
Yeah. Do you think they're keeping me safe by keeping me from being able to buy your cattle?
That's just like you and Ann talk about. I mean, come on. How would you like? I feel sorry for her husband, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm married to one just like her, so yes, it's tough being him.
Yeah.
But
so you think it's better to do it that way, the way it's done?
No, I think they should deregulate it and let me make my own decision. I don't want to buy.
Amen.
Oh, I thought that was the position we had. Is we're against all the. I don't want it. I maybe you didn't hear us rightly. I'm with you on that, Roger. Hey, how much more expensive is it today to do what you do than it was just a couple years ago?
$5. That's few. I mean, look, when you take it to a processor,
yeah,
they've got to kill it, skin it, gut it, head. They've got to pay to dispose of that waste. They hang it in the 34-degree refrigerator for. I hang mine 21 days.
Okay.
And then they cut it up, and we take everything. I mean, it's not all steak. That's the first thing my wife discovered when we started killing a cow. You better learn how to cook a roast.
Yeah.
You know, it ain't all steak.
It's mostly ground. Is it mostly ground beef? It is mostly ground beef, isn't it, or about half?
You can get it either way. You can like I don't do the rear, the rounds. I don't care for round steaks. I have all that ground. But,
okay.
You know, I've got grandkids. I'm killing it for them. You know.
So you're saving them the thousands of dollars worth of beef by doing what you're doing.
It's a hobby.
No, I like it.
You know what? It's better to give than it is to receive because you got it to give.
You got it.
Right? So they use, but we do chickens, quail, honey. I mean, she's got bees. We got gardens. I mean, it's not just the cow.
Yeah.
Wow, Roger got it going on.
Roger married. He out punted his coverage, marrying a probably very good looking woman, and now he's keeping up with cows and bees and chickens and everything else. Way to go, Roger.
Way to go, buddy.
During the great toilet paper recession of COVID,
yes,
I handed her a box of shop rags, and she looked at me like I had leprosy.
Roger, I got to go, brother. Thanks, man.
Appreciate it.
See ya. Let's get Wonderful started. Debbie's going to be there, too. We're going to run out of time.
Yeah, we just have a minute.
We got a minute, Wonderful, and we'll carry you over if we need to.
Good morning. I just wanted to say I have a brother-in-law that has gotten into raising beef, and they also now are doing bees. But last year I bought a quarter of a cow, and the thing is, I know exactly what went into that beef.
Yes.
Exactly. And the processor, you could eat off their floors.
Yes.
You know, I can trust what I'm putting on the table.
Yes, ma'am.
Why aren't we doing more of this?
Yeah, why don't we have more of that? Why is there not places like that all over the state where
I have no idea. And you don't have to have a ton of land. I mean, he has about 20 acres, and he's now bought about 20 more off somewhere. You know that he's planning on retiring soon. He owns his own business.
Hey, Wonderful, I gotta go to break, but you are welcome to stick with us because I'm really wanting to have people hear about how this is and how it could be. Thanks, Wonderful. Stick with us. We'll be right back.
listening to the Scott Beason show, you can learn things. And I appreciate that.
I appreciate that, Fred. Thank you.
But that's true, and I mean that. I'm not being sarcastic. I am serious.
We have to stop kowtowing to every little thing that they have said is bad and evil and they don't get to decide what is right and wrong. I'll bank my money on what God, the creator of the universe, says is right and wrong. It's worked very well for Western society for 2 millennia, and we've got to get with it. Got to fight the fight. We got to get after it. It's ridiculous. I'm just tired of great Americans being ripped to shreds, history going away, and all of us cowering around because we're afraid somebody's going to call us a bad name. It is time to save the republic.
You're listening to Alabama Unfiltered Radio with Scott Beason.
I get a chance to listen to you. I just think how grateful I am and how much we need you on a national level so more people can hear you.
Scott Beason, president of ARP, Alabama Recovering Politicians.
You can learn things, and I appreciate that.
I appreciate that, Fred. Thank you.
But that's true, and I mean that. I'm not being sarcastic. I am serious.
Welcome back into the program, everybody. This is Alabama Unfiltered Radio. I wish Wonderful had stayed because I wanted her to expand on the wonders of knowing exactly where the meat we're buying, eating comes from. I started this discussion because I was planning to make the point, and I ended up on this point about how we need to be more self-sustainable here in the state of Alabama, and farmers and ranchers could do better, and maybe we as consumers could at least do as badly as we're doing now, and in a perfect world, cut out more of the middlemen and actually have some deflation when it comes to beef prices. But what I wanted to get to was that people are upset we're going to bring in foreign beef, and yeah, I get it. But why are we outraged about foreign beef? And some people talk about the quality when we're eating lab-grown meat. When the government's trying its best to make it difficult for you and I to know whether or not, and that's why I could have gone with Wonderful, that we don't really know what we're buying at times.
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, if it's coming all the way back from Chicago, from God knows where to begin with, that is foreign beef.
We didn't know what we're getting either. We don't know why. You know, why is this meat full of antibiotics? Did you have it in a nasty place? Was it sick? Oh no, we had a USDA inspector. Okay, right.
That's just a blue piece of ink to me.
It's ridiculous. It really, really is. But when you find out about the lab-grown meat and that it's basically created using cancer cells because they need it to grow at an incredible rate randomly. Have you seen the videos of the people that are like, okay, I bought these 3 or 4 packs of steaks, and this steak looks like this steak, and they've got it in their hand, and then, but what about this steak? And it's like this gooey, I mean, it's the right kind of color, but there's no marbling in it, and it's just this gooey, pasty, stretchy thing, and you're like,
brother, no.
And their point was, look, it was all the same packaging, but one of them might not be like the others.
Somebody slipped you in some Franken meat, I think.
Yeah, that's what it appeared like. Let's go ahead to Debbie. Debbie, welcome to the program. Thank you for waiting, and I appreciate you calling.
Oh, I appreciate you letting me talk to you.
Yes, ma'am.
Actually, I have a very large farm family.
So you're rich.
For generations. No, absolutely not.
I'm just playing.
Not even close. But anyway, basically in the 70s, it had gotten really bad. I mean, the big corporate farmers were moving in. Small-time farmers could not compete.
Right.
They had to co-op in order to even be able to stay in business and be able to compete a little bit with the big dogs.
Right.
My great-uncle, actually my great-great-uncle, I was talking to him about it, with the difference from when he was young to when he is now. He said, used to 60, 80 acres, you could support yourself, your family. You would never get rich, but you'd have the food on the table and clothes on your back.
Yeah.
Well, now you have to have basically about 1,200 acres to even remotely come close to competing. So when you talk about overhead for these small-time farmers who don't have a much, you have to pay for a huge amount of land tax. You have to pay for combines. Combines are not cheap. You have to pay for all this heavy equipment, barns. You have to go by the government regulations, which are kind of, in my mind, steered by the big corporate farmers to accommodate their way of doing things. But a small-time farmer used to be able to rotate crops, meaning they would have one area, 1/3, 1/2, depending on how they could do it, lay fallow, and they would plant legumes during the spring, and they would turn them over, let them rot in the ground.
Yeah.
And then they would put alfalfa in the fall.
Okay.
Same thing. They would not harvest anything. Now, that ground has been refertilized.
Okay.
And all you need after that is potash, blood meal, and calcium.
Okay.
So when you do all that, bone meal. So when you do all that, you basically don't have to have a lot of fertilizers. You don't have to have pesticides normally, too much of any of that. And you could manage your farm pretty much on your own. And it was self-supporting.
Okay.
You had smoke houses that you could put your meat in and bleed it out proper.
Right.
All this stuff is gone.
So let me ask Debbie, and
past.
you may not know the answer because I don't know the answer to it, but how exactly did the centralization of the food industry squeeze the little guy out? Was it because they were demanding that all the cattle get shipped off to to central places? How did the squeezing happen?
Think about it. If you can go out and get your gallon of milk like you're talking about right now for half the price because you put a bunch of water in it, you've taken all the fat out, you've made other products with that fat instead of leaving it in the milk for us.
Okay.
That's part of the necessity of life, okay? We don't get it.
Okay.
We don't have that anymore.
Okay.
So when we have a product that can be highly processed and each piece can make money, then they can absolutely outdo any small-time farmer out there.
Okay,
There's
so
just
what
no
you're
way they
telling
can
me
compete.
is, I'm going to go back to the milk. Okay, the raw milk that is given to the animals that I've looked at is just, there is so much cream in that milk. So you're telling me
it's
that
like ice cream almost.
oh yeah, it's thick, and so they take part of that and they make butter or whatever, and then so now they have some butter. I don't know how much it makes, but they have some butter, and then they can sell me the rest as whole milk, or they take a lot of the cream, make butter, then they skim off more of it and then make something else, and then they sell me the skim milk. So you're saying they're making 3 or 4 products out of what used to just come to me as a gallon of raw milk. So that's how they're able to keep the price down, because they've sold 3 products from the same gallon.
And then they get government subsidies because they can afford to, have the lobbyists go in, and they do a lot more with our government than the small-time farmer.
Oh, yeah, the Farm Bill,
like
I've never had a small farmer tell me how the Farm Bill helped them, except for the one who said, I got paid for not growing something. And I was like, wow, how does that work?
That's hard to get.
Yes.
You can, but it's hard to get. What they're doing there is, for instance, the strawberries recently, there was too many strawberries that was reducing the price too much. So they actually had a farm, I think it was in, I better not say what state, but they had a farm. It was a lot of acreage, and they plowed it all under because they were driving the prices up to where it made sense for them to farm strawberries.
And so they just plowed under whatever they had.
Right. Oh, also peaches. There was a big peach grove that was plowed under for some reason.
It's insanity.
Really?
No, it's not. It's how they keep in business.
Well,
For
yeah.
them,
It's solving a problem that shouldn't exist in the first
For the
place.
for the government to be playing in it is what causes the problem.
Manipulation is what caused it in the first place.
Yeah.
Well,
and now they can't.
It may not even be the government even anymore because, from what I understood, the peaches were done by the company.
Wow.
Because the company itself wanted to make money. So it doesn't always have to be government anymore. They're huge.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're going to keep on getting bigger. Yeah. And like the people I get my meat from, they told me if their compound broke down, they wouldn't be able to get another one. They're out of business.
Really?
It's that close.
And I do, yes. And I do pay that price for my meat. And I'm going to tell you, when I cook that meat, I can cook it in half the time, and it's more tender than that beef that I get in that store, which is tough as nails, even after 5 hours. I'm exaggerating.
Yeah. But am I making any sense, Debbie, when trying to think, okay, look, if there were just 100, and look, I'm sure there's more, but I'm just making examples out of numbers of people in my area, and then maybe 100 in your area that were growing just a handful of cattle, and then there was a little regionalized butcher processing facility, and I could get that kind of quality for what I'm paying at the grocery store, or hopefully a little less, and that local farmer's making more and I'm spending less, that would be a win-win-win for people in Alabama, would it not?
It can't happen because the way they've structured things now, the small timers can't do it.
Well, that's my problem. If
it were different, it might. And see, the thing is this: I don't go and buy, and I'm poor. I'm not a rich person.
Okay.
Okay. I go every single weekend, and I buy as much as I can every weekend, put it in my freezer because it holds me all winter. and I break me and my husband's bank account all summer doing it.
Yes, ma'am.
I put up a bushel of peas, a bushel of beans, a bushel of squash, everything I'm going to eat for the year.
Yeah.
I don't buy it in the store. And I do that because I trust them. I know my farmer. I know him by name.
I agree. That's
I've
what
been
I
to
like.
their farm.
Hey, how much is a
I know
bushel
exactly
of
what
green
they do.
beans now, string beans?
They're out now, but if you were earlier in the year, you could have gotten them probably around anywhere from 45 to 60.
Yeah, and that's high compared to what it used to be. That's right. That's a good deal.
Lot. You go snapping, and you'll see how many they are.
Yeah, I have done that before. I've snapped beans with a big
That'd be good for kids
with
to
a
do
big
some bean
Tupperware
snapping.
bowl.
You know what?
Debbie.
Oh yeah, a couple of them.
Yep. Thanks, Debbie. I
Good for your
appreciate
soul.
you.
Thank you, Debbie. It's good
Thank
information.
you.
See you. We got to take a break. We'll be back.
Thank you for being there, Scott. Every time I get a chance to listen to you, I just think how grateful I am and how much we need you on a national level so more people can hear you.
Scott Beason, president of ARP, Alabama Recovering Politicians.
So you can learn things, and I appreciate that.
I appreciate that, Fred. Thank you.
But that's true, and I mean that. I'm not being sarcastic. I am serious.
We have to stop kowtowing to every little thing that they have said is bad and evil and they don't get to decide what is right and wrong. I'll bank my money on what God, the creator of the universe, says is right and wrong. It's worked very well for Western society for 2 millennia, and we've got to get with it. Got to fight the fight. We got to get after it. It's ridiculous. I'm just tired of great Americans being ripped to shreds, history going away, and all of us cowering around because we're afraid somebody's going to call us a bad name. It is time to save the republic.
You're listening to Alabama Unfiltered Radio with Scott Beason.
Welcome back in, everybody. This is Alabama Unfiltered Radio. We appreciate you listening to the show, and we appreciate y'all being a part of it and letting us learn from you, from y'all, people who have more experience. And I just really wish, well, I've talked about it 4, 5, 6 times in the last year or two. I really wish Alabama would try to do things to make us in the state more self-sufficient. I think we would be healthier. I think things would be more affordable. At least in the rural areas, if the folks in the cities and suburbs don't care about it or whatever, I know a lot of the suburbs have tried to have, farmers markets, those kinds of things, and it's difficult to keep that going. I just have been around enough. I can't say I'm a farmer. I can't say I'm a rancher, but my family was gracious enough to let me at least experience some of what happens in rural life, maybe historically. And, you
shelled some peas, Scott?
I've shelled some peas. Have I shelled hundreds of barrels of peas? No, but I have shelled peas. I've picked pecans. I've cracked pecans. I've dug them out with a little picker. I've helped dry apples. We did sorghum syrup. We've watermelons, all these kinds of things. Had some cows, all that kind of stuff. But I just think we would be better off, and I would love to see Alabama incentivize some of that. But I think some of y'all calling are right. The bigger entities, they any incentives, they try to suck all that up and utilize it all, and it never makes it on down to the smaller guy. But I would love to know that I'm buying beef from an Alabama farmer.
Somehow we've turned it all around, and now we've got it completely backwards. It should cost less to buy local from the local, because you cut out, as you said earlier, the middleman. It's not shipped all over creation and process and going through all these different somehow that's become super expensive to just go buy from the farmer.
Well, that's the thing I don't get. And people are like, well, we can't get it going. We can't. Well, no wonder you can't get it going.
They can't make any money.
It's 2 times. I didn't save any money. How do I convince my wife? Hey, go over there and buy the beans from Sky. And she's like, Sky's beans are more than the ones I get from the store. How do I tell her, oh, well, no, do it because it's better for...
We have to start somewhere.
And
it's going to take a little sacrifice to straighten all this out.
Yes.
But, we let Walmart destroy Main Street. We let Amazon destroy...
everything that was left.
Everything that was left. And now we've got... And these major corporations, they're feeding us...
slop.
Garbage.
Yeah.
I had somebody... This was kind of fitting here. They wound up getting to a place where they had real farm-to-table food. They knew the people that were going some kind of one of those trip vacations where you do that.
Okay.
And the quote was, they were having steak and homegrown tomatoes and everything. And the wife said, if this is food, what have we been eating? Because the taste was so phenomenal. They'd never experienced real food before.
Right.
What have we been eating?
Look, I just we're eating what they've decided we could eat, and I never thought about what I guess it was Debbie that was saying how they basically scrape off parts and use that and sell that over here and sell this over here and sell that over there, and then they run out and say, "See, look, your milk's cheaper than it used to be." And you're like, "Yeah, but that's not milk."
No,
it's a
it's
portion.
A byproduct.
It's a portion of milk, but some part was a byproduct.
Yeah.
And think about it. Think about how they convince people to drink skim milk.
Okay.
It was literally they skimmed off everything else to use everywhere else, and then said, "Can we sell this white water?" And they're like, "Yeah, go tell white women that this is healthier. We took the fat out, and it'll be awesome for you, and you can pour it on your sugar cereal, and you're going to be healthy."
Right, and they believed
it. We all believed it.
Yeah.
I mean, how much stuff do we buy that somebody thought, how do we get rid of this? And they said, feed it to people. That's how we got seed oils, is it not?
So we got margarine.
Oh, this is excess. We got to throw it away.
Eat this plastic. The hogs won't eat it, but if we dye it yellow, we can say, I can't believe it's not butter.
We can feed it to people. Isn't that how we got fluoride too in our?
Yes.
Hey, we got to get rid of this. This crap is poisonous. Well, you know what? We think that possibly this poison might keep you from getting a cavity. That'll do it.
Sold.
Government mandate. Can we get the government to mandate it? If the government mandates it, somebody's got to buy the stuff you used to have to pay to get rid of.
It's all about.
It's amazing. I was talking to somebody, and I'm coming, Rooster. I was talking to somebody just recently who's involved with a business that has a product that arguably could keep one child from getting sick. I'm not going to say what. Now, the chances of that child actually getting sick from this situation is pretty slim. But it is possible that you could have possibly gotten, a staph infection from this. And they know full well that if they sold it right, they could get the government to mandate that all the schools and all the cities and all the towns do this. So what they are now trying to sell is, hey, this is a good idea, would be mandated, and they would be rich as rich.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but that's the way the system works. It is. It really is. If you don't believe it, think about vaccinations.
Yeah, we're living it.
Let's go to Rooster. Rooster, welcome to the program. I hope you're well. Happy Friday to you.
Hey, Scott. Thanks for taking my call.
Yes, sir.
Listen, I got right down the road from me over here on the road is called Chana Creek.
Okay.
Chana.
Yes, sir.
And it's a dairy over here called Blue Ribbon Dairy.
Uh-huh.
They sell whole milk.
For your animals.
No, for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. They used to have their milk in the Piggly Wiggly, but I don't know what happened there. It ain't in there no more.
Right.
But they just right down the road from me, and you can go in there and buy milk straight from them.
Oh, that's fantastic. Have you had any? Is it good?
Oh yeah, it's great, man. And they're competitive with the grocery store.
See, now that's what I'm talking about, Rooster. I'm so glad you called, because that being competitive, that is a key, absolutely. And we used to have so many dairies. In the part of the state I live in, I didn't realize it when I was younger, Rooster, but there'd be like Sherritt Dairy Road, that's one of them, and there're just multiple roads that are called so-and-so, like Rooster Dairy Road. And now I realize, wow, there used to be a dairy there, and it's long gone.
When I was growing up, I lived in Montgomery, and there used to be a dairy in South Montgomery County called Hall Brothers Dairy.
Okay.
And they delivered milk to the front door every morning. It came in glass bottles with a cap on it.
That'd be so nice.
It came in like a little metal rack with the bottles in it. Like a carrying basket,
Yeah, like the little when you get the 4 drinks at like a Chick-fil-A with the little, it's got the 4, not the cardboard thing, but it has the handle on top, but it was metal. I've seen one.
This is a metal rack with a handle, and what you do is you get the milk out, and when you're done, you put it all back out on the porch, and the next morning they come and bring you some more milk and take the oven and go wash them and refill them and all that. And so that was back when... I guess that would have been maybe about 1950, 58 or so. I must have been about 5 or 6 years old.
How did we afford? How did somebody make a living being the milkman? Because we act like now that would just be impossible, and I guess it's because we allowed 80 gajillion million illegal aliens to come in, and then I think of all the things that people used to do for a living, and now we just say, well, that's just not economically feasible. Well, why was it feasible back then?
Well, we had real money.
There you go, Rooster. You need to stop on that one. We had real money. You're right. Thanks, buddy.
We got a winner.
Good call.
We had silver coins, and and the Federal Reserve note was payable to the bearer on demand, $1 in silver.
That's
Yeah,
right.
you're right, Rooster. Thanks, buddy. Good call. Good call. I couldn't even have set that up for him any better. How do
No,
we do
he
that? He
knocked
said
it
we
down.
have that. We need to save that. We had real money.
I've been preaching that for
Well, you
all
know-
this time, and he nails it in one
Well,
sentence.
here's another thing that's funny, Sky. We talk about these things that just can't, because we say they just can't be anymore, right?
Right.
The milkman just can't be anymore. We just can't have a local butcher shop, and we just can't have a local farmer's market. There's just no way to do this and to do that. We must have it centralized. It's just going to save us so much. And then if I come along and say, you know, what if we pay people to bring us food from a fast food restaurant to our house? Like have a service that brings it just randomly. Like he's not going to be in my neighborhood. He's going to go to Taco Bell and pick up Taco Bell and bring it to my house. Everybody would say, you can't do that.
Crazy.
That'll never work. Right?
That's what I thought.
But we can't have milk delivered.
I guess it's priorities.
But they can deliver all my groceries.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
What a world.
I just don't. Yeah. All right. Thanks. We'll be back.
Beason show, you can learn things, and I appreciate that.
I appreciate that,
And,
Fred. Thank you.
But that's true, and I mean that. I'm not being sarcastic. I am serious.
We have to stop kowtowing to every little thing that they have said is bad and evil and they don't get to decide what is right and wrong. I'll bank my money on what God, the creator of the universe, says is right and wrong. It's worked very well for Western society for 2 millennia, and we've got to get with it. Got to fight the fight. We got to get after it. It's ridiculous. I'm just tired of great Americans being ripped to shreds, history going away, and all of us cowering around because we're afraid somebody's going to call us a bad name. It is time to save the republic.
You're listening to Alabama Unfiltered Radio with Scott Beason.
Every time I get a chance to listen to you, I just think how grateful I am and how much we need you on a national level so more people can hear you.
Scott Beason, president of ARP, Alabama Recovering Politicians.
Welcome back into the program, everybody. We appreciate you listening to Alabama Unfiltered Radio. Thank you for being a part of the show on this Friday. I don't know if I want to play this first or talk to Duke first. I think I want to talk to Duke first. He may set the stage perfectly for us. Duke, welcome to the program. Happy Friday to you. I hope you are well.
How's it going, young man?
It's another day in paradise, my friend. How about yourself?
All right. Now let me get at Scott a little bit. Now, Scott, you say you picked some peas and beans.
I have picked peas and beans and snapped them and strung them and everything. Yeah.
I thought you were raised up north somewhere, man.
But they sent me home. Mom sent me home every summer so she'd have a little break. I go down to the grandparents.
Oh, you came out here to learn how to work.
Yeah, grandparents taught me.
Okay. I just wondering how the hell you picking peas up in the city.
No.
I'm not laughing because I know my time's coming. You're gonna give me a hard time too.
Scott, I know Scott. You know, he like me in country, but we pick beans and peas and okra and corn and all that.
Oh, I like some okra. Except when you let it get too big, it's tough.
Yeah, it gets hard.
Mm-hmm.
Now our parents made us. Now we school kids. You know, we try to make a little money during the summertime. You know. Anyway, they made us pick it on half.
Picking on half's a good deal.
No, we being teenagers, hell, we want our money.
You didn't want to have to try to sell that, did you?
My mom told us, we said, well, we can't get paid. They said, what you gonna do? You gonna go without eating, or you want the money?
That's a good mom right there, dude.
We had to eat.
Yep.
But back to what reason I called is about fish. Have you eaten any fish lately?
I have not. My wife gets fish every so often, like from the store, but like eating local fish, no. I mean, you can't hardly do that anymore.
I eaten it at a few restaurants lately. Man, it tastes like cardboard. And
well, a bunch of the fish and stuff is farm raised. Some of it comes. And look, I had this conversation with my wife a few months back, actually. You know, I guess we still have catfish farms in Alabama, and look, that catfish tastes really, really good. But some of this stuff imported from overseas, especially if it's imported from Asia, some of those places do the whole, chickens in cages above the fish, and then the droppings from the chickens go down and feed the fish, and then the fish, they have to give the fish antibiotics. They do that with a lot of shrimp too.
Don't be telling me all that now.
Yeah.
Now, I'm gonna go ahead and dog out Captain D's. They're the worst for us. A fast food joint for us fish.
Really? I like some. I like. Do you get the country style or you get the regular?
I tried it all last few months. I tried to eat it a couple times, but it's terrible, man. It tastes like cardboard.
It doesn't taste like it used to. No, I like some cracklings, but no, it doesn't taste like it used to, and it's smaller.
And don't get me started with this chicken nugget mess. Lord have mercy.
You don't want to know how that's made.
What
believe
the
me.
hell is that we eat?
Yeah.
What is it? It's Frankenfood.
It says it's all white meat. I don't know.
Like that.
I don't know if it was after they bleached it, if it got to be white, but still.
You mess around and let it get cold, and you messed up.
Yeah, have you noticed any of some of the things you get now, Duke? If you let it get cold, then you eat it. It's like you can't get the stuff off your teeth. You know what I'm saying? You're like, what is? Yeah.
That what me and Sam get for buying this 5 for $5 at party sometime and did different places. Somebody got the 5 for $5 meal. That's what we get, though. It serves us right, don't it?
Yeah, it does. It does. We bought the cheap one, and we got what we paid for. Yeah.
and the burger like Krista Burger. You might as well go on Krista get you a damn bag of Krista Burger. Like they're thin meat on the burger.
And why are those so expensive, Duke?
I don't understand it.
I don't either. I can't.
Not much ingredients in there.
But as far as the steaks, now in the grocery store they have like different grades of steak. They got the ones they got 70% of this and 35% of that in it. What's going on with the amount of fat and stuff they're putting in it?
Oh, that's in the hamburger meat. Well, look, it was part of the whole marketing. And look, I know somebody's going to say it was a health thing, but it was part of the marketing thing for white women. Duke, I'm just telling you right out because they're like,
it was hamburger meat. It wasn't steak. Yeah, it's hamburger meat.
Yeah, because they'll call it one of them's chuck, one of them's chuck, and one of them's lean, and one of them's regular, and oh, it's got more fat in it. I'm like, girl.
It made in Mexico. It made in Mexico though. It got Mexico on the damn package, but then I'm looking at all these cows down the interstate down Troy Highway that need meat on somebody's table or something like that.
Yeah.
What's wrong with the cows we got?
That's what I'm talking about. See, gotta go way to damn Mexico to get some damn something like rubber and cardboard.
Yep. Sometimes they have to mix some little pink goo in there just so it'll stick together.
I guess people want to know have I ever eaten any cardboard before? Yes, you know how you fighting this or something. You put a little damn paper on the damn wrapper.
Hey, I used to eat milk bone dog biscuits with my dog because my dog loved them, and then my mom caught me in there with the dog.
But he won't eat oysters on the half shell. Yeah.
Hey, look, there's probably nothing in a dog biscuit that'll kill you. That stuff is baked hard.
I got one better.
Okay.
That I did when I was a kid. We raised a cow on a bottle, right?
Mm-hmm.
Raised the calf on a bottle. That milk was smelling so good. Yeah, no, I'm sorry.
No, you didn't.
But, anyway, that milk kept smelling so good, and I'm looking at the cow, enjoying it so much. I taste me some of it.
Was it good?
That's pretty good.
It was pretty good.
Got a sweet taste to it.
All right, I need pictures, or it didn't happen, dude. All right.
Duke, I appreciate you, buddy. Have a great weekend.
man.
See you now.
Yes, sir.
Hey, look, if you're little and you haven't done that, yeah.
I wouldn't tell anybody, man. You know,
It's just, nobody's listening. It's just us. We'll be back.
Thank you for being there, Scott. Every time I get a chance to listen to you, I just think how grateful I am and how much we need you on a national level so more people can hear you.
Scott Beason, president of ARP, Alabama Recovering Politicians.
So you can learn things, and I appreciate that.
I appreciate that, Fred. Thank you.
But that's true, and I mean that. I'm not being sarcastic. I am serious.
We have to stop kowtowing to every little thing that they have said is bad and evil and they don't get to decide what is right and wrong. I'll bank my money on what God, the creator of the universe, says is right and wrong. It's worked very well for Western society for 2 millennia, and we've got to get with it. Got to fight the fight. We got to get after it. It's ridiculous. I'm just tired of great Americans being ripped to shreds, history going away, and all of us cowering around because we're afraid somebody's going to call us a bad name. It is time to save the republic.
You're listening to Alabama Unfiltered Radio with Scott Beason.
Welcome back into the program, everybody. All right, a couple of quick announcements. One is, I think they said yesterday that Mac, my youngest son, the football game they're going to play next Thursday night is going to be on ESPN Plus.
Oh.
Not ESPN2, but ESPN Plus. And I think that's a subscription service. So, but maybe some people have it. Because a couple years ago, you had to have it with some cable outlets so that you could get the SEC network. So I don't know if that's the case anymore. But some people have it because they had to have that. So it's entirely possible some of y'all have it. I'll remind y'all a couple of different times.
I'll have to look that up.
It's next
and see where
Thursday
we're
night at 6 o'clock. But I wanted to play this when Duke called and he and I were talking, and we would have a great time no matter what we did. It reminded me of something I'd run across, and this is a Saturday Night Live skit, and I'm sure it'll blow up my freaking copyright filters over at YouTube. But the premise of this, and I may not get to play it all, is that it's a Food Network kind of show. Okay. And they're doing one of these, hey, we're doing soul food. And Nate Bargatze is a comedian. He's a white comedian. He's one of the contestants, and the other contestant is a black woman. And it's about soul food.
We're having a cook-off or something?
They're having a cook-off, and the judges, the two main judges are both black. One of them's the real heavy-set black guy that's on Saturday Night Live who's real funny. Yeah, he's one of them. So you kind of get the feel of how this went. But it goes with our whole food and steak and everything conversation that we've had.
We visited the oldest black church in Georgia, where we learned about the origins of soul food in preparation for our Soul Food Challenge. What was that experience like for you?
What? I must have touched the mic.
Amazing. I felt connected to my culture, to my roots. It was really an honor.
And you, Dougie?
I mean, heck yeah. Thumbs up, it's great.
Now for the challenge, you each were asked to prepare a soul food feast for our guest judges. Chefs, the judges tasted your plates blind, and they're ready to weigh in. Judges, what did you think of plate number one?
Well, plate number one was perfect, okay? I could feel the soul, the brisket, the hoppin' john, the collards. This plate right here is the culture.
Yes, I agree. We don't know who cooked what, but whoever cooked plate one knew exactly what she was doing.
Yes, she did.
And what about plate two?
Plate two, frankly, pissed me off. I mean, what is this? Okra foam, cornbread ice cream, hush puppy gelée. This ain't no soul food.
No, this plate has no soul and no food.
You got that right. Look here, my man, respect for throwing your hat in the ring, but this ain't it.
Judges, today's winning plate is...
Plate one.
Yes, plate one by a mile.
Congratulations, Dougie.
Dougie cooked that?
Yes, I'm sorry.
It's really good. There's more to it. A lady comes out to give the award, and she goes to the wrong person, and it's really good. But
that's their salute to cultural appropriation.
Yeah. And they just keep asking him questions. He's like, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Didn't mean to do it.
Dougie. And Scotty, we got to take a break. Oh, we'll be back. Final hour. We'll be back.
you can learn things, and I appreciate that.
I appreciate that, Fred. Thank you.
But that's true, and I mean that. I'm not being sarcastic. I am serious.
Welcome back into the program, everybody. Alabama Unfiltered Radio. We appreciate you listening to the show. Lots of stuff to do, but it is a free-for-all Friday, even though we had to, it hasn't seemed like it. We started a topic earlier in the program, and people weighed in. But if you want to join in, or if there is something you think we've missed this week, something people should know about, something that is maybe not mainstream, not everywhere in the news, that would be a great thing to call with. Interesting story, and kind of want your take. It's an international story. So a few days ago, Donald Trump had made some statements regarding South Korea. Now, we're going to have some people on, hopefully in the next couple of weeks. I'm trying to remember who recommended it, but South Korea is leaning stronger and stronger and stronger towards communism. It's really probably a little bit ahead of the United States, maybe a little ahead of some of the European countries. They've been very, very blessed economically. They have a real communist regime in North Korea just above them. But their elected officials slide further and further and further towards Marxism, socialism, etc. And we've had the story on the program of the former president thought about or declared martial law or wanted to declare martial law, and he tried to disband the parliament, and the whole world was like, oh, how dare you? It's a democratically, oh my gosh, the president is terrible. Well, it turns out apparently that the guy was right. I don't know how many times we're going to have to do that in the history of the West. Some guy comes along and says, hey, look, the doggone barbarians are at the gates. The barbarians are inside the gates. The communists are here. And everybody goes, no, you don't care about human rights, blah, blah, blah. And let the freaking cancer take over. And it looks like that is indeed what is happening in South Korea. But South Korea tells President Trump that they have no desire to help with any of the operations that are going on regarding Iran and the Strait of Hormuz and basically the whole Middle Eastern fiasco that we got into, for the most part, not about stopping them from getting nuclear weapons. That's not exactly. It's a good reason, but we got in because Israel wanted us in. That's just the way it is. That's how we got in Iraq. That's how we've messed around in other of those countries. It just is. Marco Rubio said as much when it all started, and then we kind of repainted the picture, and we're kind of in a little bit of a quagmire. It's a little bit of a mess. It's difficult to save face. But Donald Trump rightfully aggravated that we have thousands upon thousands. What is it, right at 30,000 people, 29,000 military people in South Korea? Where is the, I saw it. Here it is. Here's Trump. Said, wait a minute. We have, I said 29, it's 39. We have 39,000 soldiers over there guarding you from Kim Jong-un, your next door neighbor, and you're not going to help us in a very easy military operation in Iran. That's strange. Trump said, Trump decided to cancel one of the joint military operations with South Korea. Let's see. JC said, increased surveillance, blah, 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 blah. Yochi Freedom Shield is an annual U.S. South Korean defense exercise that President Donald Trump suddenly reduced in length and scope on Sunday evening to the apparent surprise of both U.S. and South Korean military officials. Trump said the exercise was totally inappropriate and hostile, acknowledging a long-standing complaint of the North Koreans. Trump also objected to American shouldering the high cost of the exercise, and subsequently told reporters he was unhappy with South Korea for refusing to help the United States against Iran. Well, then North Korea decides to fire about a dozen of its short-range ballistic missiles into the Sea of Japan, just a few hours after Trump scaled back the U.S. involvement in that joint military operation with South Korea. And, of course, South Korea is acting all upset about it, and I find it greatly amusing because apparently all of these countries, Germany, the European countries, South Korea, the only, am I wrong? I shouldn't say the only, because I think Poland is our buddy. I think Poland appreciates what we've done. I think Hungary. Now remember, the European Union, what are the two countries that the European Union usually hates? Now, they've monkeyed around with the elections there, but it's Poland and Hungary.
That's the two. They just won't cooperate.
They just won't be, Region 1 or whatever of the Hunger Games like they want them to be. Japan is solid.
Yeah.
They're our friends. How did Japan become our solid friends? We dropped freaking nuclear bombs on those guys.
Yeah, but other cities in the country have had Democratic mayors for 60 years. So you could come back from a nuclear bomb better than
then you could come back from a
Democrat
from Democratic leadership in the United States. So Japan's pretty solid, but South Korea, remember the threat to take our troops out of Germany? They love for us to be there. They love for us to protect them. They love for us to have our military assets there. And then when the United States says, "Hey, can you help us a little bit over here?" and we're not asking them to shoulder the load
or even split it.
Just can you be on our team on this? They're like, "No, we can't." So that's why I find it amusing that North Korea fires this dozen missiles into the Sea of Japan. And it's almost like, hey, we're still here, and you gotta love some of the responses. So if you didn't know this, but Kim Jong-un's one of his top advisors is his sister, which is Kim Yo-jong. I don't have any idea how the surnames and last names and orders. I mean, is that the last name over there in those countries? Because they're both Kim. But one's Kim Jong-un and the other one's Kim Yo-jong.
I think you're on.
Do you lead with your first name? So their name is like Beason Scott and Beason Sky?
Mm-hmm. Kim is very common.
Is that how it is? Is that your last name comes first? Tells your clan or something? Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So they asked her about it, apparently, and she said, there has been no communication between the leaders of North Korea and the U.S. that we are aware of. I'm not aware of it at all, and perhaps it may be the only thing I do not know as regards to the foreign policy of our supreme leadership, she said sarcastically, but added that she felt the current relationship between American and North Korean leadership was, quote, still excellent. And you know what? That's fine. That's fine with me that it's still excellent. Because why do I want to be involved in North Korea's matters? Because what happens for the people who are listening, Karen and Kyle, who are upset about that, well, the North Korean leadership, they're communist. Oh, really? Like the communists that you really want us to have, kind of like Mandami in New York. You're opposed to communism now, huh, Karen? Well, it's communism. Well,
that's not real communism.
Does he claim he's elected?
Yes, he does.
Oh, really? So he was elected. He's the democratically elected communist dictator. You should be for that, Karen, Kyle. Y'all should be for that. I love the fact that the left in our country spends so much time trying to decide who we should be mad at.
Where's the outrage today?
Yes, because we're always upset with North Korea. We're always upset with Russia, but we don't have any problem with, I don't know, maybe the leader of Ukraine getting rid of almost all of his opposition and deciding that they don't need to have elections? How in the world do you have leadership in your country and you decided not to have elections and we hold you up as some sort of democratic symbol of progress and justice?
That's a tough one.
It's hard, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
But you know what it is for the left, they have, yeah, but he's our dictator.
Oh.
There's our dictators and then there's their dictators. And our dictators are beloved. Their dictators are not beloved. Yeah, but what about the regular person? It looks like their life is the same under our dictator and their dictator. It's basically the same, is it not? No, that's different because our dictator says he likes us. I'm like, no, our dictator likes our money. That's why he likes us. It's very similar to the outrage machine when it turns up to say, oh my gosh, you know, King so-and-so killed 10 people over here. Yeah, but Thuggo over here in this country killed 60,000 people. You don't care about them at all. Great example. We were all upset about the Iranian regime killing 30 to 50,000. I don't even really know who does the countings, guy, when the range is 30 to 50,000. You know, I mean,
give or take.
What do you? Yeah, just give. Yeah. Well, which is it? Is it closer to 30 or closer to 50? The same people counted that count how many Russians have been killed in the Ukrainian war. Yeah, it's somewhere between 300,000 and maybe 1 million. Oh, really? That's, makes no difference. We'll be back.
Every time I get a chance to listen to you, I just think how grateful I am and how much we need you on a national level so more people can hear you.
Scott Beason, president of ARP, Alabama Recovering Politicians.
You can learn things, and I appreciate that.
I appreciate that, Fred. Thank you.
But that's true, and I mean that. I'm not being sarcastic. I am serious.
We we have to stop kowtowing to every little thing that they have said is bad and evil, and they don't get to decide what is right and wrong. I'll bank my money on what God, the creator of the universe, says is right and wrong. It's worked very well for Western society for 2 millennia, and we've got to get with it. Got to fight the fight. We got to get after it. It's ridiculous. I'm just tired of great Americans being ripped to shreds, history going away, and all of us cowering around because we're afraid somebody's going to call us a bad name. It is time to save the republic.
You're listening to Alabama Unfiltered Radio with Scott Beason.
We are back, everybody. Let's get right out to your phone calls. Eric the dog. Welcome to the program, Eric. How are you? Hola, ¿cómo está, mi amigo?
Bien, ¿y tú?
Y tú, muy bien. I got to figure out how to say another day in paradise in Spanish. Otro días en paradiso? Paradiso?
Yeah, I think that's right.
Look at that. Look at me just spitting out the foreign languages. Good night.
Right.
Phonic master, man.
Yeah, exactly.
He's a master or something for
That's
sure.
right. That's they tell me.
Hey, am I the only one that thinks North Korea shooting missiles into the Sea of Japan is a false flag operation?
Well, even if they're doing it, who cares?
Well, true. But,
You know what?
that's
You know
the
what
type
it's
of
like,
thing where-
Eric the dog. It's like when Karen and Kyle call you because you're shooting guns on your back, off your back porch on your land in rural Alabama, and they call the sheriff and they're like, "Oh my gosh, I don't know. I think it's unsafe." I don't care what you think, Karen and Kyle. I'm not shooting at you or your house.
Right? You don't get paid to think. Leave me alone.
Exactly. And them shooting rockets, we don't shoot rockets into the ocean?
Of course we don't.
Mm-mm. We would
We're
never.
the white hat and all this. We never do anything wrong.
Exactly.
We're 100% clean and pristine. We don't fix other countries' elections. We don't sponsor false flag coups around the world. We don't change governments. We don't pick other people's leaders. We don't do any of that. We are completely white gloves, white hat, 100% above board. Nothing could go wrong. Epstein Island is just a horrible lie perpetrated against the United States just to foster all this, malcontent with us ramps.
That's been our CNN correspondent. Eric
Yeah,
the
exactly.
dog.
No, you're absolutely right. We do nothing wrong, and we're just usually just the victims of people who just hate America.
Yeah. I had an
The right
interesting
people.
conversation yesterday. The white people. Oh, you said the right people. My
Yeah.
bad.
It was ambiguous. Yeah.
I had this conversation with somebody the other day about immigration, oddly enough. And, it's like, it's amazing that everybody's so mad with Trump about immigration. And Obama and Biden had done the same thing, and probably Clinton and probably every president before. It's just a matter of what the light gets cast on. And this guy told me, he said that he and his parents went back to Mexico because of Obama.
Really?
True story.
It's
Yeah.
the outrage machine.
But then
we
what
were
they do? They
discussing
come
earlier.
back afterwards though?
Yeah, he was the guy that I was talking to. He's an anchor baby. Well, not really an anchor baby, but he was born here. His parents are both Mexican nationals.
Okay.
So, but he was born here, so he's allowed to be here. But
Okay.
we had that conversation. I was just like, it's crazy. Nobody wants to talk about that. It's all about Trump being a racist and all this other stuff. When in fact, it's profitable for both sides to have this workforce come in and undercut us.
Right. Yeah.
And I've worked in a couple of occupations where I've been directly contending with Hispanics,
Mm-hmm.
and I've lost out on some jobs, and my pay has suffered for that in some ways. But these guys, they make all these loopholes and they keep doing it. And I mean, all you have to do is disincentivize people, and they'll quit coming here. But that's not what we want to do, because because we want cheap labor.
We do, and we don't care what it does to you or other Americans. We really don't care. Scott and I were talking, we did the whole first hour or so about food and centralized food and food costs, and I was looking up things, and we were talking during the breaks, and what was the issue I was talking about? It wasn't the guy. Oh, it was the guy delivering the milk.
Right.
And I
What's the
said,
cost?
we all act like that guy, there's no way we could have that delivered, but you turn around and we have Grubhub and DoorDash and all these things where individuals are going to one spot, picking you up one burrito and bringing it to your house, but we couldn't have, delivery of things. And I said, well, the reason we can't is because I can't pay you very little and me still make tens and tens of millions of dollars in profit. That's the real cost issue is, and I'm not trying to make anybody, the devil, but that's kind of what American crony capitalism is turned into, is what can the policies be where I can keep Eric the dog's salary down or his opportunities down so that mine are up. It's basically an extortion racket that says, I need to get all I can get. There's nothing negative about my greed, but you expecting to be paid decently or at least have the opportunity to get the jobs, there's something wrong with you because you don't understand how great I am and what I do for you, letting you work for me sometimes. And that's...
You got to share the opportunities.
In a
Tom
country,
Petty
you do. Yes.
Famously said,
Who did?
There goes your Tom Petty.
Okay.
The guy that you don't think is all that.
Well, his voice is painful.
As we celebrate mediocrity, all the boys upstairs want to see how much you'll pay for what you used to get for free.
That's a really good point. When did he say that? What year was that?
Let's see. Last DJ, it's been about 96.
Okay. Yeah. Well, he would have had a heart attack when he sees what we do today.
Yes.
Too late.
Yep.
Yep.
Eric, that's good stuff, man. I hope you're doing well.
All right, y'all. If I can get this lady off her phone from in front of me and go, we'll be having a much better day. Y'all
Good luck.
Good luck with that. See you, buddy.
Thanks, man.
All right, y'all. Adios.
Adios.
Some absolute truths laid on us today, man. Eric the dog, quit incentivizing it. They'll stop coming.
Yeah, and I'm agreeing with Tom Petty. I mean, just look, I understand that if somebody who didn't listen to this show a lot, Sky, came in at a certain time and they're like, man, Sky sounds like he's for redistributing. He's against, you ought to get all that you deserve. I have been taught all those things, okay? But I also believe there is a responsibility between Americans that we are a family. And I don't like the idea that it is okay, it's my job to get as much out of Americans as I can and to not care about their jobs, their families, their futures. I've said multiple times, I'm not on the side of, the group of workers who says, well, it's just unfair. I need more. You got a bigger house and you need to pay me more. I understand greed goes both ways. And there are circles in the conservative movement that have forgotten that greed goes both ways. And they look at a group of employees, as in, the unions at one time, and say, oh, well, they're the reason that all these businesses had to go overseas. They couldn't compete because of the union. I get it. But what broke me from that is when the company went overseas because the union was asking for too much and they started making the same pair of tennis shoes overseas or the same pair of socks overseas, and they kept charging me the same price for the sock. Or more for the sock. You get what I'm saying?
Oh, I totally
it's not
get it.
like they were keeping it down. And then you fast forward from that and you go to illegal immigration. And I had tons of people in my office telling me how, I got to have these guys to do drywall. I got to have these guys to do brick. I've got to have these guys. Houses are going to be so high. So all of a sudden, rush. You get all these illegal alien workers in. They're getting paid less. It's cheaper, the whole 9 yards. And nowhere in the state did I see the price of houses go down, which it should have. That's the argument, right? I'm getting the cheaper labor. I'm getting it cheaper so I can make the house more affordable for you and your friends, Scott. Where did that happen at? Nowhere.
But profits increased. However,
absolutely.
Prices remain.
I didn't come up with the term Lexus builder for nothing. And the Lexus builder is the guy that drives by in his Lexus and looks to see if Juan and all those guys are getting a house built. I'm like, do you even know which end of the hammer drives a nail? And there was a bunch of that, was there not? And the reason everybody had to use, and look, I'm gonna be honest, and look, some of you can use this as your excuse because I know it to be true. You didn't want to lose you wanted to make your house payment. You didn't want to lose your business. And Scott down the street started hiring illegal aliens, and he started getting all the jobs. He was able to undercut you. So you had to go. First you hoped the government would come and stop Scott. Some of you called the government, even in the state of Alabama, and said, hey, Scott's using illegal aliens. And what was their answer? Their answer was, we don't care. Big business group down here in Montgomery says they're fine with it because they've been using them for a long time. It's just now getting down to where you are. And you're like, wait a minute, you don't care they're hiring illegals? And so you tried really hard to compete. You laid off some people, started cutting your prices, and you're like, dog, I can't do it. What am I going to do? Well, I got to hire me some. That's what happened.
No choice.
So I'm not mad at some people out there. Y'all just don't be mad at me for saying, hey, we still need to do something about it all. Because some people, these are people, Sky. I had people admit, and I got to take a break, I know, who are like, I'm addicted to them now.
Yeah, it's too late.
My business is totally relying on illegals now. So now, Scott, I'm mad at you for trying to get rid of them. And I'm like, wait, yeah, but 2 years ago you were on my side. Well, I know, but I've gone too far down the road to get back. So I understand all the aspects of it, but we got a lot of fixing to do in our country.
We got to find a way back.
We do. We absolutely do. And it's going to be tough. You know what it's like? It's like me trying to go on a diet. There's a very little chance. And
it's a good real life comparison.
And it stinks. And I don't want to work out. And it hurts.
It's going to be tough.
But I need to do it.
It's going to be worth it.
That's what they say. I'll probably get in shape and then die of a heart attack. We'll be back. Alabama Unfiltered Radio, about to run out of our time on Friday, but let me get out to some of your phone calls. Raconteur, welcome to the program.
Hey, good morning, Scott.
Good morning, Raconteur. How are you?
I'm not good.
You don't sound good. You don't sound loud like you usually do.
Yeah, no. Here's the deal.
Okay.
I am watching on YouTube from the hinterlands of Hertzahatchee, so I don't have a lot of signal.
I got you.
But I'm watching the signal. Right. If you need help, blink twice.
Why?
You've depressed me over food. You've agreed with Duke. You've liked Tom Petty. You're speaking Spanish.
Hey, wait a minute.
What is going on? If you need help, blink twice.
I'm being held hostage. Well, I started thinking I was going to go on a diet again today, so I could be food starved, and I did not have coffee, so I may not be thinking correctly, Raconteur.
Seek immediate help, brother.
That's funny. What's up?
Okay,
have you been surrounded by white people, Scott?
I am.
Do you need help? Do you need the authorities?
Call them immediately.
Yes.
1.1 question.
Okay.
The point about the beef relaxation of imported beef with a tariff relaxation.
Yeah, at the very, very start.
We do realize that that's less than 1 week's consumption of beef in the United States.
Oh, absolutely, and it's only going to be for like 60 days. I'm not really 100% sure what the strategy is. Surely the president does not think that beef repopulate as quick as rabbits.
No, but I think it might be a talking point for midterms.
Oh yeah, I think there's a
those.
chance of that. We're probably going to get a bunch of those before the midterm elections in November.
Yeah, what does it say in sound and fury signifying nothing?
Mm-hmm.
And then here's my question. So with North Korea threatening South Korea and us going, hey, if you're not going to help us, why should we help you? If North Korea takes over South Korea and South Korea owns the Hyundai plant, does that mean that North Korea will own the Hyundai plant in Montgomery and Kim Jong-un will become best friends with Stephen Reed?
That's our program.
I think there's absolutely
right.
a good chance of that, Raconteur. That is the trajectory we on.
Kim Jong Reed, Mayor
of Montgomery.
Yeah.
Thanks, buddy.
And then we'll one last question. Will Kim Jong-un think that he's Dennis Rodman?
He does like him some Dennis Rodman, doesn't he? Aren't they buddies?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, hey.
Of course, the running joke was he thought Dennis Rodman was Michael Jordan, and he got confused, and then he got upset when he found out he wasn't.
Okay, I got to stop you right there. Okay, picture this. It's more like Winnie the Pooh and Piglet, I think, would be more apt.
We can't have Winnie the Pooh runs China. He didn't run North Korea.
That's what he just. Okay, well, come on, man, help me out a little bit.
Hey, how about this? We could pair the two up. Since Stephen Reed has been known to take bribes, we could call him Rocket Man and Pocket Man.
The hits just keep on coming.
Thank you, Raconteur.
Y'all have a good one.
You got it, buddy. Let's
Kim Jong looks enough like Winnie the Pooh. It could have passed for that. Man.
You saying all the Asian leaders look like Winnie the Pooh to you, Scott? That's what I think I think you said that, and I'm appalled. I'll chain myself to a fence out here, just in protest.
Well, he's kind of okay. Never mind. The white people are going to get you, by the way.
White Karen.
That's right.
She's coming. All right. How fast can we get these through? We got Emmett, and then I've got a special guest coming on, too, on the other side.
Wow, we better get going. All right, Emmett, come on, bud.
Emmett Crutchfeller.
I was going to tell you how me and the boys survived walking across Alabama and the nation when we was over at your house motel up during the COVID with the volleyball going on. One of your associates come over and taught us how to survive.
Yes, sir.
It was the BDMJM method that we used as we crossed the country. Big Dave's Mason Jar Meatloaf. Yep, that was it. Yes, watch this program. It's good. Y'all have a great day.
You got it. Thank you, Emmett. Big Dave's Mason Jar. He does do some dry canning, Sky. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's just saying. Yeah. Okay.
A little code.
Little code there.
Going on now.
You think Paul P can get it done?
No way.
Not a chance in heck, is there? All right. Let's take a break. And the special guest on the other side might be Andrea Tice.
Wow.
You haven't heard that in a while, have you? She has not heard that in a while. We'll be back. Welcome back into the program, everybody. This is Alabama Unfiltered Radio. I'm Scott Beason. Sky reminded me I will not be back in a few minutes after the next break, and I will not be back tomorrow after the next break. This is the last segment of the day. Paul P., Welcome to the program.
Come on,
Guy?
Paul. Yeah.
Hey, there he is. What's up?
Have you now thought about that whenever all these people decide to go to other countries with their product,
Mm-hmm.
that you had to hire people at the ports to handle that material to bring it back in.
Mm-hmm.
And then you had to hire other contractors and trucking companies to bring it back to the distribution centers.
Mm-hmm.
So with all that equipment and all of that manpower, how is prices going to go down?
Yeah, I don't know. It's a good question. So why didn't we just keep them here?
Exactly.
Yep.
Because they couldn't sell that idea. They would have still been having to pay increased wages for the people here to keep it going.
Yep.
But warehouse food distribution centers used to haul groceries for a living.
Mm-hmm.
At the most, 3 days to a warehouse, maybe a week, depending on how the sales go that week. Another quick comment is I was right in the middle of that chase down here yesterday.
Oh man, Mobile Highway.
Mobile Highway.
You weren't in the chase, were you, Paul P? You were just by it.
I was being zoomed by very fast vehicles.
I was just making sure they weren't after you, Paul P. Hey, thanks, buddy. I got to get Andrea on real quick.
Thanks, Paul.
Thanks,
Later,
man.
guys.
Hey, later. Have a great weekend, Paul P. Andrea Tice.
Wow.
You haven't heard it. Let me say it right again. Andrea.
Yeah, here we go with that whole Russian.
Andrea
accent.
was on the radio show with me years ago back on another station. And before, it was during the Trump first term.
2019, 2020, I
when
think.
Trump was supposed to be a Russian agent and all that kind of stuff. And so we had this whole spiel or shtick of where she was Andrea Tice, and Vladimir Putin had sent her over to make sure we talked about the right things on the show and the whole 9 yards. And then she got promoted to doing news for 1819 News. So
Yes.
you hear her at the top of the hour regularly on this program.
That is right. And I was working on my Russian accent, trying to sound very.
Oh, you know,
but
she
I'm
does
not
good
sure.
with it.
I need to work a little bit more.
Well, we'll get you on enough times where you can practice it. But how
I
how
can do a
things been
little
going?
Bullwinkle. If
Can you do some Bullwinkle? Give us a Bullwinkle.
Hey, Rocky, watch me pull a rabbit out of my hat.
And
That's pretty good.
what was her? Was that Natasha, the Boris?
Natasha and Boris were the spies.
Yes.
And they had fearless leader. Oh, it was great. And Rocky and Bullwinkle were always after him. It was a Cold War.
I'm old
cartoon.
enough to remember that cartoon. Believe it or not.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Oh yeah, I'm old enough. Yeah,
You had a
sure.
bright childhood.
I
Sarah.
do know who it is. So what's going on? I'm glad you came by, but what's happening?
This is called a drive-by chat,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
I was here for another reason, and I just
Doing
popped in.
1819 news stuff.
Yes, that's what I've been doing mostly, and keeping myself busy that way.
You started doing a news update years ago, back when we were at the other station, and is it different? The same?
Well, what's played on the radio out there in like 99.5 and other
Mhm.
stations in the state would be Alabama news only at the top of the hour.
Okay.
For a two-minute segment. And then I
Okay.
also do the Daily Detail, which is a podcast. If you
Yes.
aren't driving in the car and you don't turn on the radio,
Right.
you could check into a podcast, the Daily Detail, and
Uh-huh.
you can get Alabama news and a little bit of national.
Okay, and that comes out in the morning, right? You do that early in the
Yes.
morning?
Yeah, it's early in the morning.
Do you do it late
I do
at
it the night
night?
before.
So that's what Sky does. Sky does
Yeah, I do the local Blue
he
Water
does the
news.
Blue Water news down in the Montgomery region, and
okay.
he stays up late
Uh-huh.
to try to get the last shooting in. I mean the last news story
Yeah, I
in
know.
before the next morning.
You want to give the news as current as possible, or else
Right.
it's old news.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Andrea knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I put in some late nights. You can ask my husband. You
Right.
know, even just
Well,
recently.
I guess a lot of news really doesn't occur in the real wee hours of the morning usually, right, Sky?
Well,
I
it
mean,
does occur. You just don't.
You don't get
I
it
have
till
to
the
have
next day.
My information has to be confirmed.
Yes.
So I can see it, but I can't really report it until it's confirmed.
I got
Or
you.
you get into all kind of legal issues.
Yeah,
here, I'm
they
sure.
frown upon that. You have that same problem, I guess, Andrea, having to see make 100% sure that hey,
Yes.
this is what's happening.
Yeah, right. There's a few reports where I'm like, I think I'll
Right.
hold off on that until we get a few more hours into it, and
Right.
then maybe
I
I'll
find-
pull the trigger on it.
I find the word allegedly helps me quite a bit.
Yes,
sometimes.
yeah, that is true. I do try to avoid, because I would, once I get started down that road, I'd be using it all the time.
Yeah, everything will be alleged.
Yeah.
Yeah, because here I don't really do. I'm commenting on what other people have said, other people have done, and this is the information as we know it. But y'all doing real news have to give it a good solid shot at getting
you
it
have
right.
to tighten it up a little bit more because you have the advantage of going backtracking.
Mhm.
If you need to, you could come in the next day and say, "Hey, this was wrong," or
Right,
even in the
right.
next segment, if things update,
Right.
you can correct it.
Mhm.
But not
Y'all
so
can't.
necessarily. Well, we could, I guess, in another newscast. But
Right.
anyways.
Well, and there's a different expectation for y'all because y'all are the news, and when people listen to me are like, it's Scott. That's different.
We're supposed to play it a little
took
straight.
that
We're
with
opinion,
we took
we're
that
news,
with a whole shaker of salt instead of a grain of salt, and so very good. Well, thanks for coming by. Are you gonna try to come by another time?
I'll,
Maybe
I'll
visit
try
from
and
time
stop
to
by
time.
and practice my Russian accent and all the conspiracy theories that we.
Oh,
we
that's
can
what
fold
we're
back-
going to do.
Yeah,
That is
yeah.
exactly
Fit
what we're
right
going to
in.
do. Hey, Sky, thanks for all the help, man. And so we're not coming back in a minute, and we're
Nope,
not
nope.
coming back tomorrow.
Nope.
We're going to do our best to be safe, be good, stay out of trouble, and see y'all.